Ahoy and welcome back to another video. It's the end of January and I decided that this year I want to try to do something I wanted to do last year, and that's at the end of every month I want to talk about my favorite games that came out in each month of the year. This is something I kind of wanted to do last year, didn't find the time or motivation to do it, but I kept track of on my own end, on my Excel sheet where I track all my games. I made a short about it at the end of the year, kind of chronicling each month and my favorite game that came out that month. So I decided, why the hell not? I'm going to try to give it a go this year. There's another channel on YouTube, Good Vibes Gaming, where Steve from that channel did the same thing, kind of just to talk about all the games he played that month. And that's kind of what I was picturing, what I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, 2024, I'm doing it. So we're going to start off and go ahead and do it. Kind of the way I picture this, I want to talk about up front all the games I played this month that weren't from the month, so games from previous years. Kind of be quick on those and then go into the games that were from this month, and then we'll talk about the games that came out the following month to kind of wrap it up. So to start off with, the first game I played this year was something I was actually playing at the end of last year, and that is Star Ocean Second Story R. I have never played a Star Ocean game. I have the first Star Ocean remake also on Switch, but I have not turned it on yet. I love this game a lot. The story, I heard the story was, pretty good. I thought it was really good. Had full voice acting for the whole game. I thought it was a beautiful game. It was like a mix of kind of HD 2D with some like non-pixel, like the backgrounds were not always pixelated, but the characters and stuff were pixelated. I thought it looked really good. Music was great. It's a pretty quick game. I think for RPGs go like 20, 25, 30 hours, something like that. I did pretty much everything. It took me just about 30 hours. Combat's like an action RPG kind of thing. Starts out pretty simple, pretty button mashy, just A, maybe special attack here and there. But by the end, it really kind of, once you get more characters and more like unique abilities, it really breaks open and becomes very flashy. I like this game a lot. There are two main characters. I played as Claude, and then there's Reyna here. They're both in the party the whole game, but you pick like which perspective you want to be for your main character. So if I do play the game again on New Game Plus, I'll pick Reyna next time. Really like that game. I definitely recommend it. Next game I got into is a game I play every year. It's Super Mario Land 2. I try to play this every January just as like a fun, quick game to play on the Analog Pocket. I really like this game, mainly because it's kind of got it's got a really unique setting for Mario. In recent years, I've kind of grown old of like the generic Mushroom Kingdom settings for Mario. And this game's just got a bunch of wacky ideas, bunch of off-the-wall places and levels. But what was cool is this year I played and streamed the DX patch. It's a color patch that someone put together, and it looks super good. And on the Pocket handheld, it really pops off the screen. It was nice because obviously I played this in black and white, and then the built-in colors in the Game Boy Color like a little muddier. Having like really vibrant color set picked out for it was really fun way to experience it. Another game I've been playing a little bit this month. I've kind of started dipping my toe into Smash a little bit, mainly because they started randomly adding in new spirits again. I'm not really sure why they started doing that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some speculation. Maybe they're trying to, they're getting people back in the groove, play Smash. The new Switch comes out. Maybe they have some sort of improved port for the next Switch. I don't know. Maybe they're just adding new spirits for no reason years after the fact. But either way, I have all the spirits and I want to keep that record of having all the spirits. So I jumped in and got the new ones. Smash Ultimate's great. Next game I got to is one I've had on the shelf for a long time. A Devolver Digital published, Doinksoft developed Demon Throttle. This game is basically like a bullet hell shoot 'em up kind of game. You can pick as the like the cowboy who shoots in a straight line, or you can pick the vampire who's got a crossbow that shoots like a spread. Pretty short game, only 4 levels. You basically go through each level. Like I said, it's a bullet hell, so you jump over stuff, shoot projectiles to destroy stuff in front of you, level up, which improves your damage and how fast you can shoot and how wide you can shoot and stuff like that. Definitely an interesting game. Some of the monsters are pretty funny, especially the last boss. Warning, I will say the last boss is really funny. It really honestly, it made my jaw drop what the last boss was. Warning if you're going to look that up. It is a very surprising adult themed boss. I was not expecting that, but I thought it was pretty good. Doingsoft also has made Gunbrella. I'd like to get to that one day. But this game's fun. Only 4 levels, pretty quick. The other thing that's cool about it is it's reversed here, but it's only physical, never digital. So this game is not on the eShop. You've got to buy the physical version, which makes it feel that much cooler that I have this. Next thing I got around to this month, I've been a Pokemon fan my whole life, but for one reason or another, one generation I never got around to playing was Gen 5. So last year I got a copy of Pokemon White and I played through it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think what I liked the most about it was the fact that it was completely 150 new Pokemon. Most generations it mixes in new and old, but this was a complete new experience for me. Like new towns I'd never been to. The Gen 5 Pokemon I don't have a whole lot of experience with. I've seen them in other later generations because I have played 6, 7, 8, and 9. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's cool to go back to like an older style Pokemon game after playing a lot of Scarlet last year or so. Just like the more linear, traditional style. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know if I need to jump in and play Black 2 or White 2 or anything like that, but I am glad to finally have a Gen 5 Pokemon under my belt. And speaking of that, while I was playing that, I was holding off as best as I could of playing the Scarlet and Violet DLC, but I kept seeing videos of the Pokemon Scarlet DLC the last couple of months, and then playing Pokemon White just kind of got me in the mood. So I have been playing the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet. I've made it through the first DLC, and I'll be starting the second DLC pretty soon. The game is still Pokemon Scarlet. It performs terribly. Sometimes my game would just slow to a crawl. It felt like my Switch was going to crash. It was just chugging so bad. Frame rate's not great. It doesn't look particularly beautiful all the time, but the game is still very fun. The loop of running around on your, Koraidon, flying around, jumping around, finding Pokemon out in the overworld. It's a very fun game. I just wish it performed a little better. And the DLC, at least the first one, like I said, I have not played the second one yet. The first one is very much more of the same of that. It doesn't perform well, but it's quick and it's fun. And I like seeing the Pokemon out in the overworld, looking for them, trying to find, finish the Pokedex. I think is really fun in these games, in Gen 9, just because I feel like it's so fast to see all the different Pokemon. Like see them there. You can run, get what you want. And yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I can't wait to play the second DLC. I'm also kind of on a journey to try to finish Pokemon Home. I think it'd be cool to get my Pokemon Home Dex complete, and then with each subsequent generation, just keep it complete rather than like right now I have I'm looking at the screen now. I have 930 Pokemon. I believe the Dex is up to 1,024. So I have less than 100 Pokemon to finish the entire Pokemon Home Dex, which is something that'd be pretty cool. I think you get a special Pokeball themed Magearna, somewhat recent legendary. You get a special version of that Pokemon if you do that, I think that'd be neat. So I'm gonna try to make progress each month as I'm trying to replay through all the generations. So I replayed 1, 2, 3. I played 4 with the remakes a couple years ago, and then I just played Gen 5. So I'll start Gen 6 here this year at some point, and then just kind of work my way through 6, 7, and maybe I'll jump into Shield again. But I want to finish the Pokedex. It's kind of a goal of mine. And I almost forgot to mention these, but a couple other games I played this month. I streamed Super Kiwi 64, which is a game that came out in late 2022. It's a N64 inspired like mini collectathon platformer where you play as a little kiwi. You can run, you can dive into the wall, and you can soar around. I love that game. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty short. It's like takes maybe a couple hours to finish the whole game. But they added new levels. I just streamed it a couple days ago at the end of the month, end of January, end of this month. And they added a couple new levels, and I streamed those, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then mid-stream, Bird Dog Gaming, friend of the channel, let me know that there was more games from that developer that I didn't even know about. And so like midstream, I bought MacBat 64, which is another kind of N64 inspired little platform, fun quick game. I beat it, like I downloaded it on stream and I beat it on stream in like an hour. But Super Kiwi 64 is $3 and definitely worth $3. It's so fun. And the MacBat 64, $2, still a lot of fun. I don't like it as much as Super Kiwi 64, but definitely had a good time trying it out. So that's all the games that I have not, or that I've played this month that did not come out this month. So for the month of January 2024, I've only purchased one new game as of this recording, and that is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This game is way more fun than I expected it to be. This game was not even really on my radar. Typically, I kind of get like a bad taste in my mouth with Ubisoft the last few years. I just don't feel like I have not been gelling with a lot of their games. And I saw this got announced, and like I just kind of brushed it off like whatever. I haven't played any of the other Prince of Persia games, so I wasn't super excited for this one. But then the reviews came out, and I was, saw some scores. Okay, that was pretty good. And then I listened to some reviews, and I watched some gameplay, and then I realized that this game is definitely up my alley. It is a 2D Metroidvania, and some people were saying like, "Oh, this is the best Metroidvania since like Metroid Dread." And I was like, "Oh no way! I love Metroid Dread. That was my game of the year a couple of years ago." And I have not finished this game. I'm pretty close to the end. I am thinking, but I have to say it stands right next to Metroid Dread. It is so smooth. The platforming is incredibly fun and smart, and there's a lot of good challenging platforming that I don't feel like I'm angry if I don't pull it off. I feel like it's fun. I want to jump in the next run, try to get that challenge. A lot of options of moving in the air and keeping yourself in the air and bouncing off of walls. It's so much fun. One thing about Metroidvanias is like, for me, I've played a lot of them, and when you get to an area, you can't get to something. Normally, you kind of know what kind of upgrades you're going to get in a Metroidvania. You're going to get your wall jumps, you're going to get your double jumps, maybe jump higher. There's a lot of like the more familiar ones, but in this game, I would get to places where I couldn't get to an item, and I had no idea how I would get to it, because some of the upgrades in this game are really unique and thoughtful to where I didn't see them coming. I didn't know how I was going to get to those items, because it was an upgrade that I really hadn't been exposed to before. So it has all the good power-ups you'd expect from a Metroidvania, and then it has a lot of unique new ideas that I think really help keep the game fresh. From that genre as far as that genre goes, and I'm loving the hell out of it. The combat, I would say if there's one thing I would say is definitely better than Metroid Dread, it's the combat. So Metroid Dread, you have your you've got your blaster, and it's a lot of range stuff. This game is mostly melee combat. You've also got a bow, which is fun to use. But the melee combat, there's combos. Some really you can go through the training. There's some pretty in-depth combo options that I don't even pull off very often because they're difficult, and I don't think to do them in the moment. But two, like I don't know, like I just like running there and just mashing, and that works. That's a lot of fun. But on some of the bosses, you can pull off some really cool combos. Using the powers, a lot of the powers have thoughtful ways of in combat as well. That I don't want to spoil the powers, but like they're good for platforming. But it's cool to see how well they work in the actual combat as well. I've been exploring the map, getting everything I can as I go. It's got a really cool system for like if you get to an area and you can't access something yet, you can just press down the D-pad and it takes an in-game screenshot of that area of the map. So when you look at your map, you'll see, okay, I've got a screenshot up there. So you go up there and look at it, and you can just kind of look at the map and you're like, okay, I still don't have that power up. Oh, or I do have that power up. Let me go back and get that. That's a super cool idea. I want that in all. I want that in Metroidvanias going forward. Really neat idea. For some reason, it limits you on how many of those you can have, and you have to like find in chests more of those screenshot things. It like limits the number you can have on the map at once. That's kind of weird. I wish it was just unlimited. I don't think I've actually hit 0 but like one time. But yeah, I'm loving it. If I did have one tiny complaint, so the way fast travel works, you have to find an area on the map that you can fast travel to. And you can't just fast travel anywhere you want, but there's specific fast travel locations across the map. And for what I'm doing right now I'm doing a lot of cleanup on the map before I like go into a later area. And as fun as it is running around, jumping, and getting to places, it is annoying when I get a treasure and it's like way far off in the corner, and there's no way to just like fast travel back. I have to run all the way back. And I get, part of the fun of the game is the platforming and exploring the map and killing the enemies, and it is. But sometimes I'll go through an entire area, kill all the enemies, get to the corner, and then I've got to like run back through the area I just went through. It's kind of a nitpick. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's just something that was on my mind. I got it on the Switch. It performs great on the Switch. It's 60 frames. It looks fine enough. The art style, I think, lends itself well to being on the Switch. I think the only thing that would benefit is if I played it on my PlayStation would be, so I think it can go 120. I don't think I actually have a TV set up right now that can do 120 frames. But maybe some of the load times or the fast travels would be instantaneous. On the Switch, if you go to a fast travel, you'll kind of like sit there and then you'll like load in. So yeah, it's a little stuff like that. But I think the portable, being able to play it portable on my Switch is worth those small load times every now and then. I'm hoping I can finish this game in the next few days. I like it a whole lot. This game is definitely going to be in my top 10 conversation at the end of the year, unless some crazy stuff happens. I hope they make more of these. I hope this game does well. I think it's only $50 on the Switch. I hope it does well, and Ubisoft can make more games like this. Some games in January that I want to play, but I haven't got around to yet. The big one for me is Tekken 8. I got Street Fighter 6 last year, and I played probably 50, 60 hours of that game, and I loved Street Fighter 6. I'm not a huge fighting game person. I want to play more fighting games. I want to get better at them, because the only fighting game I have a whole lot of experience with traditionally is Smash Brothers. It's a lot different from like your normal 2D fighter. So I played Street Fighter. I was able to have some fun with online. I got my fair share of wins. I didn't like get good at the game or anything. But when Tekken came out, I was like, okay, I just play Street Fighter. I don't know if I need to jump into Tekken because I'll just go play some more Street Fighter. But man, Tekken looks like a whole hell of a lot of fun. It looks really good. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Tekken, so it'll be a whole new roster of characters for me to visit. So I think I will get that game before this year ends for sure. I just didn't get it in January. And another big game I want to play in January that I don't know when or if I'll get to is Like a Dragon. That game is the Yakuza series is a series I've wanted to get into as well, but it's fallen victim to me having limited time, obviously. And those are big meaty games. So I got to find a spot for it, but a lot of RPGs coming out right now. There's Yakuza, and then Persona 3 Reload's coming out, another series I need to get into. Final Fantasy Rebirth is coming out at the end of next month, which is probably my most anticipated game right now. And I think the main thing holding me off from buying Like a Dragon is I did play the demo for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. And I enjoyed that demo a lot on the PlayStation a couple weeks ago. So I went ahead and I took a chance on that game and I pre-ordered it. And that game will be coming in here in a week or so. So it's a whole new... That's a series I've never played before. I think they have like some fighting games in like a mobile game. So it's kind of like a new thing altogether. And I liked what I played and I want to play that game. So that's going to be my RPG I'm going to play until I get to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'm going to drop everything I'm playing and play that. So yeah, I kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but the games I want to get into for February, the main things are Grand Blue, which I think comes out on the 1st. Mine won't be here on the 1st. So starting off with Grand Blue, I'm going to play that a whole month probably until the end of the month, which I think it's on Leap Day, the last day of February, is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Sequel to one of my favorite games ever made, and I'm super excited to play that game. So yeah, I'll do another one of these in a month, see what other games I got under my belt. I'll probably try to play some more stuff on the Switch in the meantime while I'm playing Grand Blue on the PlayStation. Maybe play something on the Pocket. So I'll have some other games to talk about next month. But mostly next month you'll probably hear a lot about Grand Blue and me getting excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I'm looking forward to. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.